Mr. Golden Owl, what everyone got wrong about the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Nintendo tricked everybody. Did we get bamboozled? Does this look like the face of a man who'd get boozled? Thought I'd quickly cut in to let you know that this video was posted before the Switch 2 came out, and I reacted to it also before the Switch 2 came out. So some of it might have aged a bit strangely, but I thought it was worth uploading to the channel nonetheless. Also worth pointing out that he has since changed the title to make it a bit less provocative. Maybe understanding the backlash was probably partially due to the title. Without further ado, let's continue our React Nation. Seen them recommended, so now's a chance to see what they're all about. I don't know, Mr. Owl, take it away.
I have a question for God.
Why?
God! God! Just take me!
Welcome Tour is arguably the strangest product in the Switch 2 catalog, both in the present
Classic
and
clip.
for the future. General reception towards it can best be described as confused anger. However, I have a different perspective, specifically 3 of them.
I'll say that, like, okay, let me get my perspective out of the way, which is, as a developer, as a company that is typically left some, like, sort of like freeware stuff on their consoles for us to fuck about with when we first get it, them charging for their modern equivalent is just firstly a very strange move, and secondly is like barely worth the money. And I think compound that with a already horrible PR campaign of like charging way more money than you should, I think didn't help. I think that's the issue. Even if, like, say for example the Switch 2 was an affordable price and everyone was okay with the price, them just charging for this in general is just, like, in principle just very strange compared to themselves and compared to the competition. Astro's Playroom, that's free of charge. Face Raiders and those AR games, those are free. Wii Sports literally came packed in if you bought a Wii. So the fact that was it 1-2 Switch didn't, like, 1-2 Switch got a bit of shit, but because like the Switch was generally well received, it didn't really get that much. It got shit, don't get me wrong, it got shit, but it didn't really like get the same amount of shit that Welcome Tour is getting, because like at least 1-2 Switch was a game. Maybe bare bones and should have been full release, but it was still a game. I had a bit of fun with it when I played it at some friend's house, right? With Welcome Tour, very clearly designed like one of those like freeware games you get with your like 3DS or your Wii, right? Firstly, very clearly designed with that sort of aspect in mind, but for some reason isn't given to you and you have to pay for it, even despite its cheap price. The fact that you have to pay for it is strange. And again, compounded with top of the horrible PR you've already had and the increased price that you've set as a new precedent, yeah, that's the reason. If you're asking me, those are the reasons why I think it's less than stellar. Not only is it a bad gambit, but a bad PR move considering the bad PR they've already received. Although considering the Switch 2 is sold out as of now, I don't think they really care too much. But I still don't see this really getting many sales anywhere. Or at least if they do, it's more people have a Switch 2 but can't afford a game, so they just want to buy something new for the sake of buying something new. Maybe I could see that. But again, the fact that they're charging is just like very, very bad. It's just sad, really. That's what it is. So that's what I'll say. That's my overall opinion anyway. What about you, chat? Why would Nintendo want to trick their consumers into thinking their product is overpriced? I don't know. You tell me. Well, fuck. I don't know if you mind. I'm not a businessman. I don't think about this. For something that looks like it can get done in an hour, I don't know why this is paid. Exactly. Like, it's all Reggie's fault. Reggie gave us Wii Sports for free, so we're used to getting good shit for free. If it was like a little fun tutorial, it'd be free. Oh, fuck. Nothing more, but isn't he for? Yeah, exactly. I know comparing Nintendo to Sony, but Astrobot is an incredible pack to showcase the tech on a fun little platform on its own. I think comparing it to Astrobot is actually a very fair comparison because, again, it's like a free game that you got with a new console, which is, so I think it's a very fair comparison, actually. So I agree with that. It went from packing game to not packing game, but might have had enough to get away with it, but not packing game to it should have been a packing game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a better way to say it. Exactly. Like, at least 1-2 Switch was a game that felt like it should have been, but it just wasn't. But this game just feels like it absolutely should have been. You're so right for that, Potato. Golden Owl, hang on. You said that Golden Owl's my goat. I can already tell it's going to be bad. Oh, Jirak, is this once again? Is Jirak once again going to have a stinker? Oh, no. Jirak is going to have a bad week, honestly. He's going to have a bad week this week, honestly. Remember that Sony? I mean, Sony are typically, I would say typically Sony tends to be not as generous with free stuff. Sony's literally the only, like, one of the few major platforms that don't offer, like, refunds on their digital storefront. I think Xbox is pretty good at that. Steam is amazing at that. I think even Nintendo, you could probably, like, send it, like, Sony's notoriously terrible at giving you free stuff or, like, giving you refunds. So for Sony to give their, like, platforming, like, freeware game, like, free of charge, it's amazing. I'm glad for that. Oh, and if Alfonso's anything to go by, they gave you a free game for their PSVR. Yeah, so if anything, Sony seems to be pretty good at this. So I think it's a fair comparison. If I'm comparing it to their competition, I think it's a very fair comparison. The Switch 2's main problem was, for the most part, Mario Kart, and they give you an option not to pay $8, so that's probably why it sold out. That and it's the sequel to the Switch. Yeah, I think they just got lucky. I think Nintendo are kind of lucky. They're riding their high off the Switch, which Fair play to him, I guess, but, you know. All right, so that's our perspective, Mr. Gold now. What's yours?
Gamer, I find it boring. As a designer, I have a perspective. Specifically, 3 of them. As a gamer, I find it boring. As a designer, I find it useful. As a business grad, I am laughing myself to death because Nintendo has successfully pulled off one of the funniest marketing tricks in the modern gaming industry.
What would that
The
be?
best part is, people still haven't realized they got played.
Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. I'm just thinking now, chat. Are you gonna... There's no way, Golden Owl, you pull the all publicity is good publicity. He's not gonna say that, is he, chat? I'm hoping he doesn't. That's just my prediction. I'm hoping he's not gonna go with that dog shit, like, phrase. I'm hoping he doesn't. Because that's like... It's like true, but not at the same time. Like, I feel like that's one of those, like... It's one of those, like, dog shit phrases that, like, people say when it happens to be true, but then people don't acknowledge when it's false. Like, for example, when someone gets publicity and then it turns out to be bad, no one says, oh, but all publicity is good publicity. But when someone gets bad publicity and they turn to flip it, then they say that. It's one of those phrases people only say when it works. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just like, oh no. Oh no.
It's so damn funny. Okay, enough preamble. Let's begin. Here's the leading questions of the day. What is the welcome tour supposed to be? Why did Nintendo make it? And what do you think is the big funny marketing trick? You've got 3 separate
Already answered the
perspectives
last
to
one.
consider here. Show me what you're capable of.
Okay, hang on, let's go back. Okay, I'll show you what I'm capable of. All right, so is this the first one? Hang on.
Let's begin. Here's the leading questions of the day. What is the welcome tour supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to function the same way that, say, like your face raiders and like your AR games did. It's supposed to be a fun way to showcase exactly what the console could do. With the AR games, you got those AR cards, so you could see exactly what the 3D was capable of. Same with face raiders. Face raiders was an actual like brilliant showcase on what the 3D could do, and like the gyro sensors of the 3DS. Wii Sports was an excellent showcase of the motion controls. Astro's Playroom was a platformer that is a kind of a platformer, but also showcased like all the cool things you could do on the PlayStation 4 now. So I think it's supposed to be as the name implies, a welcome tour of your new console and some of the cool stuff they can do. That's what I would say it's supposed to be. So the fact that Nintendo Land is another good example with the gamepad stuff. So it's supposed to be of that ilk. So charging money for it when typically in your history and your competitors don't is very strange. That's what I would say.
Why did Nintendo
Land created? Why did Nintendo create Welcome Tour? Again, I think we kind of answered that in our first one. It's to show off the new tech of the Switch too.
make it? And what do you think is the big funny marketing trick?
I think I already guessed that. You're going to say all publicity is good, all publicity is good publicity, which I think is one of those things that, from my experience, people only say when it works and people never mention when it doesn't.
You've got 3 separate perspectives to consider here. Show me what you're capable of. Let's start by getting this out of the way.
Okay.
This is a demo software. Demo software are apps or tools used to showcase a separate product to potential customers.
Okay,
the
yeah,
software's
I agree.
primary objective isn't to be entertaining or fun, but to explain and demonstrate that product's capabilities.
I disagree. While it's not supposed to be, I don't see why it can't be both. Because like I would say that Wii Sports was both. I would say Nintendo Land was both. I would say what was the other? Face Raiders was both. So I think history kind of goes against your example. Would you say on a technical level, by definition, I agree, it's only supposed to show off the tech. But the best way to show off your tech is by making it fun, is it not? And history has shown that it has. Astro, Nintendo Land, Face Raiders. So I don't necessarily agree with you. No.
This is not to be confused with a software demo, which is a temporary free trial of a product. Tech companies like Nvidia produce them to show off tools like their new graphics cards or Unreal Engine, translating the product's technical specifications into something tangible, hands-on, and understandable. Developers require these because deciding on software tools can be a big commitment. Having a cheap and accessible demo can help a developer evaluate the tool's capabilities and check if it meets their needs before deciding whether or not to purchase it. On a more pragmatic standpoint, it's also a lot harder to sell software without a demo. It'd be the equivalent of a company saying, just trust me bro, it'll work out. Which is something you should never do. Trust no one. These demos are pretty boring by nature since they only serve as a technical showcase and nothing more. But hey, B2B products are always boring anyway. What do you expect out of something called business to business? Things are different
Yeah, I just hang on.
for gaming hardware because they sell to
okay.
both developers and general consumers. And general consumers don't care for elaborate yet boring tech demos. Consumers are here to buy something fun, and the best way to demonstrate how a game console can be fun is to give them a game to play. This is a tech demo game. Not to be confused with a game demo. That's a free trial version of a full game. Problem is, making a game is a lot more complicated than making standard demo software. Standard demo software only needs to be detailed.
So is the argument he's going to make that Welcome Tour is like demo software, not a like demo game? To which I would say, can you really expect the consumer to understand the difference? That's what I would ask you. Because, like, surely, you know, if I'm trying to think business-wise, you got to think how your customer thinks. If you want a perfect example of this, chat, I think what was it? The half pounder, the burger in America, failed because people, the third pounder. The third pounder, people, like, just thought that it was smaller than a quarter pounder. Because, obviously, like, the number 4 is bigger than number 3, even though 1/3 is bigger than a quarter. So people didn't know that a third pounder was bigger than a quarter pounder. So it failed in America when the McDonald's tried to do that. So that's why they got rid of it and just kept they made it, it's literally called a double quarter pounder. Instead of calling it a half pounder, they literally called it a double quarter pounder, which makes no sense. You're like, just call it a half pounder. But it didn't work. Like, and then that's why it's called a double quarter pounder, even though technically the word technically makes no sense. So that's an example I would give you. So what I'm saying to you is that even though Welcome Tour you might say is a tech software, not like a demo game, can you expect the consumer to understand that? That's what I would ask you, because I wouldn't. No way that's stupid. That's actually a true story. But yeah, so that's what I would say to you. That's the example I would give to you. But let's continue hearing you out.
And informative. Doesn't matter how boring it is as long as it demonstrates the product's use. For a demo game, you still need to do that, but you also need to make it fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That means designing gameplay, making up mechanics, creating art and music assets, programming enemy AI, you know, the works. All of which a standard demo does not need to care about. This increases the cost of production. Unfortunately, this is an essential expense. Without a demo game, a game console struggles to showcase its unique selling points to the average consumer, which will negatively impact sales accordingly. Every game console benefits from a demo, even the PS5 and Xbox. The faith of dedicated fans only goes so far. They still need the sheer numbers of the general public. Since the expense is more or less fixed, the game company will instead try to deliver the demo in a way which maximizes their overall benefit and return on investment. This is typically done in one of two ways. The first way is to distribute the demo as a freebie with the console, artificially raising the console's perceived value among potential customers. Wii Sports is the most famous example of this,
of course,
being a minigame collection packaged with every Wii console. This game showcased both the Wii's motion controls and the Mii system, with all characters being composed of Miis. PictoChat was a free software which demonstrated the DS's LAN-only system-to-system wireless communications and touchscreen functionality. This was a really big deal back in 2004, since it predated the smartphone era, which only began in game.
Yeah, PictoChat was fire, I'll be honest with you. PictoChat was fire. My neighbor had a DS and sometimes we'd like yap on fucking PictoChat, it was great.
Popularity in 2006 to 2010. The 3DS continued this pattern. Face Raiders showcased the system's AR and gyroscope. Flipnote Studio 3D lets users make stereoscopic 3D animations. Street Pass Mii Plaza relied on the Street Pass functionality, which allowed nearby 3DS systems to detect and exchange data with
Peter
one
Griffin
another
from
whilst
Japan?
in sleep mode.
Shit.
That last one was my personal favorite. Loved the Street Pass. Astro's Playroom is a 3D platformer for the PS5, which showcased the functions of the DualSense controller. The ideal case is to either have the fancy new tech impress the consumer enough for them to purchase it, or they just get convinced that the bundle is a good deal.
Actually, yeah, who used PictoChat a lot? Like, is there any actual? I know you guys like, oh, PictoChat so understood. How many of you guys actually used it though? And why was the best PictoChat room A? If anyone used any other rooms, you're weird. Okay. Any B, C, or D Andes, get out my chat. Okay, I ain't dealing with you. Never used it. Never. Oh, you got. You know. Oh, I bet you guys. Oh, I never had a. Don't tell me. You guys. Oh, I never had a DS. Must never had a 3DS. Oh, the turbo zoomers are in. The turbo zoomers are in. Permanent cage. Permanent cage. I can't be dealing with them. See, look, it's happened. Look, I'm not even. Look. It happened. If I can look, it's unbelievable. It's like just get. I don't know for you people. Next, you're gonna say you didn't even do DS download player. You guys are unreal. Look, I can't be dealing with this.
and purchase it anyway. This
I'm not talking to you
can
people.
pay off in the long term if these freebies generate sufficient consumer demand. The individual profit margin of each console is reduced, but the demo's original development cost
Look at you people. Okay, look at you people. Okay, you big baby wow-wows. Oh my lord, are you still in your diaper, Jonathan Hargreaves? Is that what it is?
can be spread out over a large number of
Did you have to make a Jonathan Hargreaves too because your mum knows about the first one and put you on YouTube Kids? Is that what it is? Oh, you're not supposed to be watching me, Jonathan. Is that what it is? Unreal.
consoles and minimized. Economies of scale, gotta love it. As Wii Sports famously proves,
Alright guys, pin or ban? Everyone who says pin, I'm banning you.
this can work. How many people were convinced to buy a Wii just because it included a free game? Install base is generally the most important objective for a game platform to achieve, because more users means more game sales in future. If the free demo can directly create more console sales, that is absolutely a worthwhile trade-off.
It is. The classic games, the classic. 5 minutes of Demeach for you, okay? Cheeky Connor. If you're being very cheeky, you're very cheeky, okay?
The second way is to sell the demo game as a standard game. This reduces outreach, but helps fill the console's launch lineup and also generates revenue directly.
Wii Sports was a system seller. No other demo has been one, and the Welcome Tour is not a killer app. Yeah, but like the fact that, again, it's just... We've already had the precedent that if you're going to make a tech demo video game, you at least package it with the console. So the fact that they haven't is strange. Even if it's not going to be a killer app, it's just strange. It's very strange that they do that. I think people are the right to be like, what are you doing, Nintendo, you lazy bastards?
Game & Wario was a minigame collection which demonstrated the asymmetrical gameplay of the Wii U gamepad. 1-2-Switch was a minigame collection that used the Joy-Cons in a variety of ways. Knack served as a technical showcase of the PS4's raw system
Knack
power.
is back,
by showing
baby!
how it could effectively render 2,000 little
I
blobs
love
that
Knack.
sort of shape into
Knack
some
is
fucking
back.
weird old troll. Yeah, good luck drawing that shit, kid. It also gave us that one masterpiece of a
Masterpiece, baby!
Masterpiece. Oh, look at the graphics of that. Look at the graphics on that game.
These games aren't exactly the best, except Knack, but are necessary for a healthy console launch. New consoles need games at launch. They
Alright, again, I think we kind of get the point, the overall point you're going for. So I will skip ahead to the next chapter, Mr. Golden now. Let's go. Demo software showcased unique capabilities. Demo games are a fun showcase. Demo games are...
my dear, either by being a
Demo gamers create value for the consumers. I thought these are all correct.
3B or as a standalone launch title. Now, tell me, my dear viewer, which of those 3 points did the Switch 2's Welcome Tour succeed at for a general consumer?
I suppose the top one, right?
Vote on your phones now. All done? Alright, the answer is none of them. It doesn't do anything.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Welcome Tour, how dost thou suck? Let me count thy ways. Firstly, what does this thing even showcase? Welcome Tour is presented as a walking simulator that turns the Switch 2 into a convention hall-like area which your generic corporate art-style human can walk around in to visit multiple booths and read explanations. In other words, it's a glorified instruction manual, and admittedly
They have to
very
pay
well-made
$10
instruction manual
for.
with high production values, but an instruction manual nonetheless. Consumers don't care about this. They
Nope.
don't want to be told what their new product's features are or what it can do. They want to be shown what the feature does and why it is interesting and exciting. Unreal Engine 4's Attic Demo is a good example of a demo software which is useful for both developers and consumers. It is meant to show off the engine's capabilities at rendering light
RTX
and ray
on,
tracing,
gamers.
but also included
RTX
more
off.
settings
Oh,
for
look at that
general
RTX.
consumers to play around with.
Yeah.
It provided multiple options to toggle illumination, reflections, translucency, and change time of day, letting me see how the engine handles light in different ways.
I've heard enough at Golden Hour. Can we raise the price, chat? Can we raise the price?
I could switch from a first to third person perspective, display the frame rate, bump into objects to observe physics, and
Anisotropic
even shoot
filtering.
light-based projectiles to see how multiple moving
sync.
lights interact with one another. It's
Ludo
interactive,
nav
engaging,
dissonance.
and fun to fiddle around with.
Ray
Welcome Tour
tracing.
isn't. It's just
Drop
really
shadows.
boring. Secondly, this isn't a game. Everything about it,
HD
from what
Rumble.
it does, to how it looks, to how the direct explains it, to the experience of starting it up, tells consumers that this is not a game. It opens with you being dropped in front of an information counter. The first few things the player gets to do is walk around, read signboards, and take quizzes. The minigames are present in small booths scattered across the expo hall. However, they aren't actually visible upon the software starting, and are located behind the player, out of
Yeah, okay. Oh, again, once again, I'll do some tactical jumping ahead, Mr. Golden Hour. I think I kind of get you over a point. Telling my kids this was Metroid. Samus!
So, what is it? Let's review the facts of the case as we've surmised. Welcome Tour is clearly some kind of tech demo. It is not a game. It does not meaningfully showcase the console's new gameplay features. It is not interesting or exciting enough to have any value to the average customer. However, it fulfills some purpose important enough to justify being a launch product.
Does
Here's
it?
my
I don't know, man.
hypothesis.
Go on.
Welcome Tour is a tech demo for all the boring and unexciting technical features of the Switch 2, and is made for developers, not players. If we look at it from that perspective, things begin making a bit more sense.
Yeah, but I don't want to, though. I'm a consumer. I see this on my storefront for my new console that doesn't really have a lot of games at launch, and I'm annoyed. Again, if you can't really be the like you gave me this whole business to business, but like, are you not thinking the business of like how the consumer is gonna perceive the information? You're selling it to us, brother. You're selling it to us. That's the issue. Is he gonna address that? Yeah, just give it to them as a dev kit, bro. I don't care.
The Switch 2 has many technical improvements over the Switch 1. Stuff like
This is the devs. Why didn't they make it clear to us? Because they want to. It's got to be the money.
the magnet clips, improved motion sensor, rendering speed, and so on. This is potentially useful information to developers, and since Nintendo actively wants indie games on its platform, it makes sense to provide a tech demo at the platform's
What
launch.
about for me,
However,
though?
This stuff is all
Hey,
boring by
what about
nature.
yeah, it
Players
is.
will never find
Hey,
it interesting.
it's true, yes.
So they didn't even
Come on.
try to make it interesting. In fact, from a purely technical showcase, it's better to be boring, straightforward, and transparent with minimal distractions. Hence why it isn't even a demo game. It's not supposed to be. The 3 demo games handle the actual fun stuff for general consumers. The Welcome Tour is there to cover everything else. This might be why Nintendo felt comfortable with a $10 price tag. It seems
I think it's cool to learn about a console I just bought. Yeah, how much rate do we raise it, guys? Can we lower the price for everyone but laid back game, please? Can we do that? Is that possible?
like a pretty silly use of money.
Let's
to a general
raise the
consumer,
raise the
but it's a
price for
totally
laid back
negligible
game.
business expense for a company. As a matter of fact, both the software and the Switch are probably tax deductible since they'd be considered essential company equipment. I've
I don't care.
seen weirder tax write-offs. So, assuming
Oh
we
my God,
evaluate
what
the
about for
Welcome Tour
me?
not as a game,
What
but
about
as
for
a
me,
developer
though?
tech demo,
I
how
don't
good
care
is
about
it
the devs,
actually?
bro.
Well,
Put
it's
the game
actually
in the
pretty
back.
okay, I think. It seems to do a fairly decent job at covering each individual component of the console with the help of visual
Oh my business. Oh my business, gamers. What the profit margin is going on here?
aids and shortcuts explanations. It contains many simple demos for a wide range
Oh,
of
man.
functions, both interesting and mundane. From
Shut the front progress report. I can't believe this. Holy stock. Holy salaries, CEO. Let's play our welcome tour. Come on, let's go.
intensity to mouse controls to
8-part Let's Play of Welcome Tour on main channel.
It's not happening. Okay, it's not happening.
4K TV compatibility, all of which is delivered through a pleasant, easy to navigate user experience. with good
Boring.
production value.
See more.
Even if it was for devs, why wouldn't it be free?
Yeah, just okay. Hey, listen to rent. Raise the price. Raise the price. All right. I don't fucking know, man.
Values. It's hard to say for sure exactly how comprehensive the tour is at the time of this video because the Switch 2 isn't out yet. But first,
Can you tell his Pokemon videos are better? I think his presentation, personally for me, I think his presentation is a little too dry. And I think it feels like this video could have been like maybe 15 minutes long instead of 26. Like when you've got me skipping ahead, I'm generally okay with like letting the video man run. But like when you've got me skipping ahead, I think you're doing something wrong there, Gordon. That's all I'll say. I feel like you could have maybe condensed this a bit more as like 15 minutes to the 26 is what I'll say. But we'll keep watching.
impressions seem good. I can totally see this being on a company-owned device as an accompaniment to an actual dev kit. So what's the actual problem here? Why are people so confused? What's
It's a shame that it took us 17 minutes to 26 for you to answer your fucking title, but here we go, chat.
It's the big marketing trick. Well, it all stems from this exact moment.
Okay.
This one word.
Join me inside the game. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour will launch as a paid digital game, is actually inside the game itself.
To help players better understand the Switch 2 hardware, we're currently developing this game.
Game. That's a contradiction. The Welcome Tour is very obviously not a game. It doesn't look like a game, it doesn't feel like a game, it isn't even named like a game. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour sounds like a museum audio guide for tourists, and it was described in the Direct as being a walkthrough of the Switch 2 and all of its system features. If that is what Welcome Tour is, people will be totally fine with it. PictoChat and Flipnote Studio were obviously not games, but were still well received as software. In fact, when the Welcome Tour was first shown in the Direct, initial reception was actually positive. However, Nintendo, for some reason, consistently insists on calling it a game and having that be the justification to charge $10 for it.
Isn't it technically though? Because it has those mini games, doesn't it? Like the UFO one, the golf one. So I think it technically is a game, right? Is that the big review? For fuck's sake! Hey, Jirek, is this your goat? Yeah. Is this your goat? Mr. fucking Golden Yap? Good lord, brother, come on.
The Direct calls it a paid digital-only game. Nintendo's website categorizes it as a Nintendo Switch 2 game. The Treehouse Live's video playthrough of it is titled as Gameplay Video. Even Nintendo of America's company president, Doug Bowser, calls it a game in official press releases.
Again, it's one of those things where... hang on.
Jump rope challenge was free. Ain't that a game?
Nah, it's software end. But yeah, like, I think if we're trying to get at is they made a mistake by calling this a game when it's more so a gemo than a gemo. If you're telling me the point is they called it a game when they probably could have more accurately called it like a tech demo, sure. But like, if anything, that's us getting that right, innit? Like, if your whole argument is they shouldn't have labeled it a game, isn't that what we've all been saying? Like, have I been hit on the head? The whole thing we've been saying is this is not a game, it's a tech demo. So if the whole point is, the big reveal is, they're calling it a game. It's like, yes. Is this what I waited 18 minutes for? Oh, Mr. Al, I hope your conclusion ends up selling it, honestly.
It's honestly impressive how consistently this software is being miscommunicated. It almost feels like the Wii U problem all over again, somehow recreated in a console which is just named The Thing 2.
He's looking into it more as a marketing scheme than a product for the adverse consumer to use, and is trying to use his business side of things to explain it. So yeah, that's the thing. He's like, that's the thing though. Like, yeah, I think it's a case of like, this is the opposite of what I like champion chat, right? Because you know when your English teacher says when you're reading like a book from like fucking, I don't know, like Shakespeare, or you're fucking reading, I don't know, like To Kill a Mockingbird, the curtain was blue, and then your English teacher says, what does that mean? That means that the blue represents the somberness of the character that behaves. But then like your dumbass 14-year-old brain is like, miss, I think it just means the curtains were fucking blue, and you think you totally owned them, your teacher, when in actuality you're the dumbass. All right, there's subtext within books that are like phenomenal, and is what makes books what they are. The subtext is what makes literature so beautiful, right? I think in this instance we could just confidently say the curtains were just fucking blue. Do you know what I mean? That's what we can say. Like, this is one of those instances where you're trying to tell us, no, they're just fucking blue, Golden Owl. They're just fucking blue. Do you see this bottle? Did Musty pick the turtles when he went to the London Zoo? Because like, he was really feeling blue that day. No, the coolest one there was the turtle one, and I picked it up. Do you know what I mean? There is no thesis, there is no subtext. They called this a game when it should have been a tech demo, and that's kind of it, brother. I don't know what to think. He's got one more paragraph, so I'll let him, or one more chapter, so we'll let it run, but I have not been endeared to you, Mr. Golden Owl, I'll tell you that much.
Seriously messes with customer expectations, because people are no longer looking at Welcome Tour from the perspective of being an introductory software. They are looking at it from
he shows the turtles because it represents how he wanted to take life as slow-paced and really take everything in. Actually, a pretty solid analysis, but in all actuality, yeah, the turtle one looked the coolest. Decent analysis though, JD, I like that.
Perspective of being a launch title game. And as a game, it is awful, because this is not a game. It's like calling a museum brochure a book. I am absolutely convinced that if Nintendo just called it a demo software, consumer reception would not be as upset or confused as it is now.
No, again, you took 19 minutes to give me a thesis that's just fucking wrong. No, the problem is, again, you explained it in your... You literally said it earlier. Again, if we're going by the competition and Nintendo in the past, tech software demo game things, whatever the fuck you want to call it, were free. Now, it is not. And if they were going to do that, they have to justify it, which they haven't. Hey, Owl! Hey, brother, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, brother. Go back to sleep. I like turtles. Where's that clip? Where's that clip of that little kid? Let's take a brief tangent to get my dopamine high, because Golden Hour was kind of bored the fuck out of me, I'll be real with you. I'm sure his other content's good, but I can't say I've been endeared to him, you know? It's literally me.
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
Classic. That meme is like older than all of you guys.
In fact, most people would probably ignore it. And that's the first half of the trick. This is all marketing team shenaniganery. Notice...
Oh, for fuck's sake. He's gonna do it! All publicity is good publicity! I'm Golden Owl! All publicity is good do you want to mention the times where it didn't... No, I don't want to mention the times it didn't work! That's how you sound!
that people are paying attention and talking about it. If
For fuck's sake. People would be paying attention to the Switch 2 regardless because of their insane prices for their other Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't be dealing with this. Boring.
Welcome Tour was called a demo software and given away for free. The general public would ignore it. That's what they did for stuff like PictoChat and SwapNote, which attracted curiosity from developers, but not from the general public. The public doesn't...
Yeah, but like, hang on, the thing is, right, this is the... Yeah, but like, the curiosity only works if it turns out to be good, though. That's the thing. Again, you're doing this all publicity is good publicity, right? Yeah, it's gotten people to pay attention to the Welcome Tour, but like, now that the attention's on it, then what? You know what I mean? Like, then what? That's the issue, right? So, for example, right, it's like, what's it? In fact, again, we could tangent back, chat, we can literally tangent it back to, like, what we said earlier, gamers, right? Hang on, let me give you another example, right? I'll give you a similar example, right? It's the guy we mentioned earlier. Remember Nintendo? I said that like he was on his grind with the anti-Nintendo content, right? But then like it's fine him getting all this like attention, like like he's getting all this publicity for shitting on Nintendo, good and bad, right? But the question is, what do you do with it? Like you can say all publicity is good publicity, but like say he stops the anti-Switch 2 train and is like he uploads regular stuff and like the new viewers don't take to his new stuff. Was it technically good publicity? I would say no, because it ended up killing his motivation to run a channel. If this ends up like, if he transitions to different content and it does work out, fantastic. It was good publicity. The good and bad publicity did work for you. But that's the thing. When you take him for what it is what he's got worth it? Like, for example, if I was here for his anti-Switch 2 stuff, but I watched his Galaxy videos and they were shit, then once he stops making the Switch 2 stuff, no one's going to want to watch his channel anymore. Does that make sense? But if it turns out like it's like with you, hang on, why am I using Nintendo? My channel's a perfect example. There's probably some people here that are like, oh, Moresty, I thought you were kind of mean. I thought you did. But then I watched you and like, no, actually, I don't know. You see, I got the publicity from like probably these like big moments, like from, yeah, fuck Nintendo. Yeah. But then you watch me and you're like, this guy's kind of chill, right? So like, if it turned out that like behind all the like, yeah, 10 minutes of Dimitri, fuck Dimitri, yeah, Nintendo, like, go Nintendo, like you saw me for what I was, and I was just a bland, boring ass fella, you'd be like, well, I'm out of here now. Do you know what I mean? I got the publicity from like, if I'm really calling it, I don't really do it for the publicity, but I got the publicity from being like, yeah, blah, blah. But then like when you watch me, you're just like, oh, like, this guy seems kind of chill, right? So then I turn that like potentially negative publicity into something good. When you look past the smoke of what Nintendo Welcome Tour is, it's just a shitty tech demo. Does that make sense? That's the issue you have. If, say, for example, this was Wii Sports. Let's say, for example, Welcome Tour came out on the Wii and Wii Sports came out for the Switch 2 and you charged $10 for it, right? Everyone would be like, $10, hurr. But then you look behind the surface of what Wii Sports is and it's like, you know what, it's actually kind of fun. Like, you got this baseball game, you got this like cool boxing game, you got like bowling. Like, you'd look at it, you'd be like, You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be something to hook onto afterwards. But the problem is, there's a bunch of smoke and fire, and when the smoke clears, what have you got? A shitty little fucking UFO demo, a dumb little golf game, and some fucking maracas. So if you're going to pull the good, all publicity is good publicity, I just think you're fundamentally wrong. I think you're fundamentally wrong and cringe. It just doesn't work. I'm telling you, in this instance, I don't believe it's going to work. Like I don't think you can make this conscious argument that's going to sell more because of the. I don't believe you. I just don't believe you because people have seen what it is and it's not going to work. Again, guilty as charged. Yeah, look, we've got, ladies and gentlemen, we've got him. Okay, he hated me, but now he likes me. Okay, he likes me now. You know, that's my rant in there, Gordon. Now. Raise the price.
To technical software, but they will pay attention to a new game. Remember what I said earlier?
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. People flanderize by default. You need to break. Yes, exactly. Like the most iconic. You can probably go. I would say iconic, but the most viewed videos on my second channel are the ones where I'm being like, I can't believe this. But then like you watch any of my other stuff and like in between all the rage moments, the crash outs, I like to believe I provide some decently insightful commentary and some funny ha-has, and that's what you get with a Moresty stream, right? You get a bit of both. That's the thing. That's what I provide. That's what I like to say I provide. Welcome to, you're not getting any of that, brother. You're not getting any of that.
The fact that it costs any money at all means it gets placed in the same category of paid software as the other games, alongside all the consumer purchase psychology that comes with it. That purchasing psychology goes both ways. By labeling Welcome Tour as a new game and giving it a price tag, general consumers are now paying attention to it. For many casual consumers, this is now a game, and will get mentally grouped together alongside Mario Kart and Donkey Kong in the Switch 2's launch lineup. It's like,
yeah, but like, are people really gonna hold it to that same degree? Like, are you like 1-2 Switch was a launch lineup game as well, but like when you see like Breath of the Wild, 1-2 Switch. You know, like technically, you're doing the whole thing where it's like, yeah, technically it's getting publicity. Is anyone buying it though? Did you guys like? Maybe there were a couple of people who bought 1-2 Switch because like they just wanted new games for their Switch. But again, at least with 1-2 Switch, you had like something there. You've got nothing with Welcome Tour, brother. It's boring. It doesn't even look cool neither. Good lord, man.
Like a cardboard cutout of a person being held up in a crowd photo. It doesn't actually contribute anything meaningful to the launch lineup. But if you're just a regular person who walks past and only spares it a brief glance, it maintains the illusion of being an actual product and makes the list of Switch 2 exclusives look a bit bigger than it actually is.
Is that one extra game in their launch lineup worth it though? Is it worth it? I wouldn't say it's worth it. God, good lord, man. This is just simpery at its finest. I'll be real with you.
Don't overestimate customer attention span. It's very short. When was the last time you actively looked at and examined an ad? However, this illusion is broken extremely easily by anybody who has ever played a game. To these people, the contradiction is incredibly easy to spot.
Yes, and therein lies the issue, right? Is that, yeah, technically people might see, what the hell, Mario for $80? Let's get, okay, Welcome Tour is $10. Let's get Welcome Tour. But anyone doing even like a cursory glance will realize, okay, this isn't really... Again, with Wii Sports, let's again say you did the same thing with Wii Sports. Mario Kart World's $80. Okay, let me get this Switch 2 sports game. Let me get that. Oh, actually, this is kind of fucking fun. Hell yeah. Again, like, there has to be some meat on the bone. Arrgh!
What do you think these people will do in response? They'd complain on social media, of course. In fact, they'd probably react something like this. Nintendo have the audacity to lie about this being a game and are charging for it. Look at how greedy and stupid they are. They'll be shouting this en masse all across the entire internet for days and weeks. Here lies the second half of this trick.
It's the all publicity. You took 21 minutes to say all publicity is good publicity, brother. Like, brother, could you? Is there like a return policy on that business degree of yours, Golden L? Is there a return? Listen, brother, can you cash that shit back in? Like, what? Uni was at least like a couple grand a year for you, right? Was it free? I hope it. Well, I mean, it might have been free. I don't fucking know, brother.
People are now unironically engaging in online arguments over a tech demo, which would normally be completely ignored if it was given away for free. all of this online chatter is worth far more than any possible revenue that piddly $10 would ever generate.
Again, I don't believe you. No, I just don't believe you. As I said, I think my theory, again, while I'm not a business guy, I am speaking for someone who is also someone who's like had moments like this. Does that make sense? Like, I have seen instances where like something becomes controversial and I look into it, but then when I realize, oh, it's actually not that good, then I think that's probably what people, I don't know, man.
Nobody ever says Italy. I personally think that the $10 thing would have worked for DragX Drive. Pronounced Drag Drive like Hunter x Hunter and Spy Family.
Is that how it's pronounced? Oh, well, thanks for the pronunciation, guys. But yeah, I think it could work for that game because that game looks like it has some meat on the bone, right? But like, yeah, I don't know. Yes, this is just, again, when the smoke clears, what are you left with, chat? That is the important bit. That's the part this guy's not mentioning. Because yeah, like, all publicity is good publicity on a technical sense. It depends on what you do with that publicity. When Nintendo stops making anti-Switch 2 content, what are you left with? Are you left with something worth subscribing to? When you came to my channel to watch me like defend your goat or something, what were you left with? Someone worth watching? So for some people it was. For some people it wasn't. That's the important bit. I like to think that there is something worth watching. But behind all the, Moresty, you're being too harsh. There is something worth watching. And I think that's what makes this work for me. That's what makes my channel continue to grow. That's what makes the line go up, you know what I mean? It's my marketing strategy, guys. Marketing strategy.
Marketing team managed to get blood out of a stone. They've taken something with zero customer value and tricked people into arguing over it. This is outrage marketing. Those of you who guessed right, nice job. Outrage marketing is a powerful marketing tactic which relies on absurd and inflammatory actions to trigger a negative emotional response.
Doesn't work in this instance, though. It just doesn't work. It just, brother. I know outrage marketing is strong. He's correct, guys. He is correct. Outrage marketing is a very powerful tool. It is. He's correct. Is it gonna work for Welcome Tour though? I don't think it is. No. I don't think you convinced me. Again, if swap Welcome Tour and Wii Sports, let's say Wii Sports was this, or like, well, it'd be called Switch 2 Sports, wouldn't it? Let's say Switch 2 Sports was going to be that $10 game they charge for. I think it probably could have worked for that game. Because at least, again, you have a core good game beneath it. I don't think there's a core game that people want to play in Welcome Tour when all the smoke clears. I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you.
And drive online discussion. It works because negativity is an extremely strong.
Well, yes, I have taken a marketing course, gamers. Yes.
Creatures who are attracted to drama, controversy, and complaining, and love expressing their emotions and outrage. But despite its power, most companies will avoid using it because outrage marketing has a major drawback. If you aren't careful, the negative attention can easily backfire and screw over the product being advertised due to consequences like customer boycotts or legal actions. However, Nintendo completely sidesteps this drawback because they don't care about the sales of Welcome Tour. Their primary objective is to maximize sales of the Switch 2. As I mentioned earlier, Welcome Tour is a product that has zero value to a general customer. That means it has no sales to lose. A product boycott is pointless because nobody is going to buy it anyway, and there's no threat of any legal consequence because it's not illegal to set a stupid price for your product.
So what? Like, oh, so technically, oh, if all the marketing means that like one person buys it, therefore, I mean, it's like on a very technical level, I suppose you're right, but like, oh, brother, this is just this is like the most, well, technically, he's correct. I'm just like, what a boring conclusion. Yes. If all of us getting outraged means that one person bought a piece of what would have been a free piece of software, I guess technically I guess that's technically one more sale than PictoChat got. But would you count that as a win though? But like, is that like, are those handful of sales that will get worth the bad PR? Like, is that worth it? Is what you're saying? Is that worth it? I'm saying it's not. This is like the most grasping at straws, brother. Return that business degree, man. You gotta return that business degree, fella. I'm being honest with you. Fucking not only again, it doesn't help that your presentation is really dry, which I don't mind dry presentation. Okay, just to clarify. I know some people have been saying Subway Surfers, Moresty, put Subway Surfers in the corner. I don't mind dry presentation. King K is one of my favorite YouTubers on this platform, and he's dry as hell, boy. But what helps is when you have actually something to say. This video felt like it could have been half the length with twice the punch, and he decided to elongate it just to give me outrage marketing. Therefore, fucking boring, lad. Back to the drawing board with you.
This also means that all negative sentiment towards the Welcome Tour is completely harmless. It will not impact anybody's purchasing decisions. If you are purchasing a Switch 2, it's probably because you want to play new games like Mario Kart or...
Yeah, but surely the negative perception of Nintendo charging money for stuff that people perceive they shouldn't, is that bad feeling gonna go away? Like, how many times, like, guys, how many times have I know this has happened to me, right? Where, for example, I'll see like maybe YouTube. I think it happens with YouTubers, right? Where sometimes like I'll see a YouTuber recommended, and I'll be like, wait, wasn't that the guy who like was in that controversy where like he didn't pay his editors? Like, I don't know if I want to watch him actually, and then I'll like click away. I feel like that's happened to me on a couple of instances, honestly. So what I'm saying is that like, is that like sort of, it doesn't affect Nintendo's image though? I don't think it will, like on a big scale, but like, I think it will add to this already giant pile of Nintendo are no longer like our company anymore. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of the small little flames on like a larger fire of Nintendo just aren't our guy anymore. You know what I mean? So like, is it gonna get big like stink? No, but it's one bit of stink on top of the giant stink of Nintendo just fucking sucks now. You know, it's another thing that people can like whack over the head of Nintendo. Is that worth it? I don't think so. It fans the flames is what I'm trying. Yeah, it fans the flames. Is this going to start a fire? No, but it's going to keep those flames going. Now, when people say Nintendo is like shit now, they can add Switch to, like, what's it, the Welcome Tour on top of all the other things they could talk about, like the lack of like player choice range, the lack of frequent sales, them charging technically $90 for a fucking game on the Wii U. Again, it's adding fire to the flames. You don't fucking want to do that, okay? Hello, James. Go back to class, okay?
Waiting for future Nintendo games, or simply because you are excited by the new features or a new gadget. If you are not buying a Switch 2, it's probably because of high prices or low availability, or because you aren't interested in Nintendo's games. All perfectly good reasons to decide on a purchase. Nobody will ever list "I hate that the Welcome Tour costs $10" as the primary reason to not buy a Switch 2.
But again, it's just one of the. I think you just deny the fact that like some people won't forget. For me, again, I'm just one man. I am acknowledging I'm just one man. But I did not buy 3D All Stars because I did not agree with them having a game that they could sell on a digital marketplace on a limited time run. I just thought that was the utter stupidest thing I've ever heard of, and I didn't buy the game. I didn't support them. So what I'm saying is that if this could be like one extra thing for someone not to support Nintendo, wouldn't that be a bad thing? Like Again, I feel like you're just getting lost. I think you're lost in the sauce, brother. You're lost in the sauce, man. Honestly, you're just lost. I think this guy's just lost, fella.
Such a minor issue that the most anybody would do upon discovering it is to simply complain about it online. However, anybody who wants to complain about the Welcome Tour has to mention that it is a tutorial for the Switch 2, because their emotional reaction is totally incomprehensible without that context. Which in turn means that anybody who sees these complaints are now aware that the Switch 2 exists. That is exactly what marketing wants.
Again, it's the classic. All publicity is good. This is boring. Is this the rest of the video, brother? This is fucking boring, man. I'll be so real with you. I'm bored.
Guys, they've been played. News media, content creators.
And again, you make this like if you can say, hang on, no, go on now. I'm calling a gamer alert. If you can say the stink of the Welcome Tour being charged is not going to affect Nintendo in the long run, I can also then counter you by saying the marketing that the Welcome Tour, the bad publicity that Welcome Tour gained was nothing in the long run neither. People were always going to talk about the Switch 2. The Switch was one of Nintendo's best-selling consoles. A highly anticipated sequel to that would always have on publicity. With the power that it has as well on the third-party support, with the cool-ass new games, it 100% would have gotten amazing publicity regardless of the Welcome Tour. If you can write off the Welcome Tour PR disaster as just it's not going to matter anyway, then I can write off the gains it would have gained as just marginal nonetheless. So like again, I think you overplayed your hand, brother. You overthought it. The curtains were blue. Chat. The curtains were blue. The curtains were blue. Oh man.
Social media users are still talking about it.
People
for free.
online.
People think they're clever for spotting Nintendo's con, or self-righteous for calling out the company for being greedy. They don't realize that Nintendo's actual objective with Welcome Tour is to simply get them to talk.
People would have talked regardless. Again, you make it seem like this would have been the bulwark. You know what I mean? You're overplaying your hands. You're overplaying your hands. And also, like, I kind of hate this whole, like, now technically, if he's being technically correct, the best way to protest something is to just not talk about it. Because it is true that, like, not talking about something is worse than talking bad about it. It is. But by talking bad about it, you spread awareness of how bad this thing is, so that once it leaves the public consciousness, when someone does bring it up, like, only negative things will come up. Like, again, I don't think anyone's thought about fucking Shane Dawson in a hot minute, but now when you think about Shane Dawson, you're probably like, isn't that the guy who fucked his cat? Even though he technically didn't, it was kind of a controversy. But like that's what you think about. Do you know what I mean? So in the same way that no one's gonna think about the Switch 2, but like when Welcome to when people think about it, want to be like, yeah, wasn't that the fucking thing they charged $10 for? Is that worth it in the long run? Yeah, the Jake Paul Forest. No one's talked about, like, anyone who's not like enamored with Jake Paul probably hasn't talked about Jake Paul for a while. Oh, just say Logan Paul. No one's talked about Logan Paul for a hot minute. Like, at least in my space. When people bring up, people mention the yep, you know what I mean? That's how it goes, man. So, like, that's the same thing is gonna happen with Welcome to. People are gonna be like, isn't that the thing that got charged $10 for? Bloody hell.
Because that is helping the Switch 2 go viral to as many people as possible. People were baited and they fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Boring.
As a person
boring. I'm doing what I normally won't do. I'm getting 1.5 times speed, brother. You're boring me. Boring.
who studied marketing, I am positively cackling and applauding.
Oh, hang on. Did he say it? Hang on.
Hook, line, and sinker. As a person who studied marketing, I am...
He did get his degree. Return the degree. Return the degree! Return the degree! Oh, suffer my hang on, where is it? Where is it again? I need more dopamine. I'm tangenting. I don't give a shit. Fuck you, Golden Now. Your video bored me. It's literally... it's literally this, isn't it? Hang on. It's literally this for me. It's this for me. This is Golden Now, okay? This is Golden Now. Return the degree. Return the degree, or suffer my curse.
What's your offer?
This night you will be visited by 3 plagues.
Return, then the last. Return the degree.
Nice try, Professor.
Hey man, return the degree, brother. Return it.
Positively cackling and applauding. Nintendo just tricked the entire internet and got away with everything they wanted, with nobody any the wiser. It's so good.
This is literally, I took one marketing class and think I'm a fucking genius. Jesus Christ. Guys, I want you to know, this is like the business equivalent of going, wait, hang on. You put something down and then immediately forget what you put down 10 minutes later? Oh my god, you have ADHD too? Oh my god, we're such ADHD bros. Oh my god. Wait, hang on. You got that Hasuna Miku Fortnite skin too? Oh my god, we're Fort bros? Oh my god. It's like fucking what are we doing here? Oh, it's like fucking a level 0 conversation, brother. What are we doing here?
I seriously hope that this is an intentional strategy by Nintendo's marketing team and they didn't just stumble into it by accident, because it's doing such a
holy gluck, Batman.
Good job. Worldwide demand for the Switch 2 is insane, and the Welcome Tour is partially helping contribute to that.
But I'm not watching the... Hang on, let's skip right to the fucking end, shall we? It's over, it's over.
Let's wrap this up. Perhaps you've come to view this goofy Welcome Tour in a new light. What did you learn from this video?
I learned that this video is fucking boring. That's what I learned. Okay, that's what I learned. All right, that's what I learned. Boring.
Maybe you learned something about tech demos, maybe you learned about customer psychology, or maybe you learned about marketing. Let me know in the comments. For now though, let me leave you with these closing words.
Oh.
One man's trash may be another man's treasure, but simply talking about that trash can be a treasure in and of itself.
Again, business degree 101. Hey, listen. All I'm saying is that if I said what I wanted to say in your comments, I'd be banned. Okay. 2012 Musty would be proud of me. Yeah. I'm number 204. Okay, let's put it that way. Brother 6. Let's see what the comments think. I mean, again, the comments 20% dislikes. Let's see what the comments thought. Comment bingo? Ooh, we can actually do comment. Yeah, let's do comment bingo, actually. Thanks for reminding me, CL Kennedy. Wait, oh, can you ping me in the Musty shitpost or like DM me again? I forgot. Okay, real quick before we go in. Pick 2, the rest are coming for you. Which one oh, hang on. Which one? We'll do this after. Guys, we'll do this after. Fucking hell. Listen, quick, DM me or post it, alright? Quick, see how quick, man, brother, help. I don't remember where I put it. Okay, DM'd me. Gamers, we're back. It's right here. Thank you. Sorry, I closed the DM, so I didn't have it. Oh, here it is. Is it Bingo Baker? Page cannot be found. Oh no, see how the page cannot be found. I mean, I guess I'll use the one you made me, but oh no way! I can't believe this. Give me a second. This exclusive live streamed content. The Moresty guys aren't going to get this bit, gamers. Oh, hang on. Do I have it? I don't have it. I'm dying, Seal. Hang on, uploaded image. Okay, CL got me again. He's got me. Gamers, CL Kennedy has got us covered. Here's the bingo card for this evening, gamers. Let me quickly save this. It's all my credited artwork. Let me actually save this one. Bravo 6 bingo. There we go. Now I'm not losing it. Let me find it. Open in Paint. Unless there's something else I can probably use that's better. I'll just use Paint. There we are. Alright, here we go, gamers. That's our bingo card for this evening. What have we got? Okay, we need to get rid of Sir Musty Viewer, because I know someone's gonna go sort by newest first and then like leave a comment so we get newest Sir Musty Viewer. I'm not counting that one. Okay, I'm not counting that one. Unsubscribed comment, wall of text, boomer/unk, Lil Timmy comment, people online, rude comment, short comment, 15 words or less, nostalgia comment, grammar mistake, creator replied, checkmark commenter, subscribe! Finally someone said it, hot take says cold take, sarcastic comment meant as insult, rage bait, buzzword Barry. Okay, buzzword Barry, there has to be at least 2 buzzwords. Is that fair, chat? 2 buzzwords. So like, as they like have like charm or like overrated, for example. It can't have one, it has to have like at least 2 buzzwords. That's what I'm saying. Minimum 2 buzzwords. Japanese soldier, so someone, I would do the cutoff as someone mentioning something from at least, what's the year cutoff for giving it, gamers? I'm saying at least like something from like 10 years ago. Is 10 years ago a Japanese soldier moment? 5 years ago, maybe? I don't know. Something along those lines. Essay, racism, video game industry, pre-pandemic? I think that's fair. Pre-pandemic, okay. Pinned comment with agrees with creator, default pro bitch, and comment glazing creator. I think we got a good card. Let's see if we can get bingo gamers. I would say 5. Let's do 5. Let's do 5 then. Let's do 5. Let's go, gamers. Let's go. I'm gonna put this right here so I don't lose it. I'm gonna put it right next to my chat. All right, pinned comment. No pinned comment, so we're not going pinned comment. Can we go to this? Is that like a subscribe? Can we get a subscribe? I mean, this is technically the free space, right? There's a free space. I'll mark off the free space regardless. All right, let's go. Let's start. It was just a prank, bro. That's technically a mean comment, right? That's rude. I'm calling that rude. That's rude. That's rude. That's how true. I mean, it's true, but that's rude as hell. I'm knocking that off as rude. Oh man. I think drawing the conclusion that was a deliberate outreach marketing kind of overlooks the fact that Switch doesn't. Yes, thank you. Jesus Christ. It doesn't need active press. I think they're always going to have a general populace talking about the Switch 2 just by virtue of having 150 million units out there taking up space in the cultural zeitgeist. If anything, the fact that loudest public voice are talking about the Switch 2 right now are talking about how greedy and overpriced it is, who aren't paying direct attention to all of this here, just that side of it. You might ask me why the Nintendo was overpriced, and that's all shit. Yes! Actually, no, this is true! Guys, it's actually true. My mum was talking to me about the Switch 2. And do you know what she said? First thing she said was, "Oh my god, it's so expensive." Literally, this is correct. Oh my god, I never actually thought about that neither. The fact that all of us are talking collectively about like the prices being like terrible has literally infected the cultural zeitgeist, and the welcome tour is not helping in that regard. If anything, it's made that worse. My mum is talking about the fact that the Switch is overpriced. My fiance's mum also was talking about that as well. Actually, like I told my mum I pre-ordered it, and she was like, "Wait, with what money?" I'm like, "I worked my ass off in March." I'm like, "Okay." Like even like that's the issue. Like this comment is truth nuke, absolute truth nuke over here. Good lord! Finally, someone said it. I agree. The idea that rage marketing will have the sales of welcome to is overshadowed by its contribution to the high price point of the games, which is the #1 hurdle Nintendo needs to overcome. Honestly, everyone's taking it to task correctly. Honestly, I was talking to some friends and they were dumbfounded about how much Mario Kart costed. Yeah, it's just not helping them, is it? It's really not helping them. Gotta bring this up as well. In Japanese, this game is called Nintendo Switch 2, which roughly translates to Nintendo Switch 2 Secrets Exhibition, and was localized into Welcome Tour for other regions. Maybe Nintendo Japan thought they could charge for this game because they viewed it as something like a Nintendo Labo Secrets Reveal type thing. And the title is just a poor localization. Bringing this up because Nintendo has been known to straight up change major details when localizing them, especially in Splatoon. That's an interesting angle. I never actually thought about that. Interesting comment. Oh yeah, good old family Nintendo and their outraged marketing. Oh, hang on. The chat, I think that is prime sarcastic comment meant as an insult. That is like, that is perfect. I'm Xing that off. That is a perfect example of a sarcastic comment meant as an insult. Good lord, that is brilliant. That is like the perfect one. Short comment. Oh, we could cut a short comment as well with like a bunch of likes. We can do that as well. Any grammar mistakes? If you see a grammar mistake, chat, let me know. Nintendo just tricked everyone. Def not. People are still pissed off about the code cards and the game price. This is just fuel for people who don't want to buy it. Real. I think you're Flame 40s. Oh man, I'm not counting punctuation error. I'm counting like words. I'm counting misspellings. As I'm counting. Fucking bodied, bro. Real. People are manipulated to do exactly what Nintendo do. To be bitchy about them being stingy, give them bad PR, proceed to make themselves look bad with $80 price games that's only going to sell via the console being bundled with a $50 bundle. Exactly. If that's what you think, sure. Personally, I don't see why they present themselves so awfully. There's no such thing as bad PR mentality. It doesn't work when basically everyone's already had their eyes on the console to begin with. I clapped. I clapped. I don't know about you. I clapped. I clapped when Matistic Statistic. That's a lovely name. That is a fantastic. That's like an S tier name. Matistic Statistic gave you the fucking sauce, brother. Unreal. I'm gonna be honest. I think you're giving Nintendo way too much credit. I think it's just simple as Nintendo getting a huge hubris after the Switch 1 and are testing how much they can get away with charging money for a free packing instruction manual. Yeah, that's just real and true. Can we count anything off? I don't think we can count really. Okay, but like, why was everyone waiting on the Switch 2 and everyone loved the Direct before the prices came out? Do you genuinely think do you genuinely think that they purposefully made it so that people would be pissed off and make it known to casual players and in turn make these people buy the console for an overpriced? Yeah, exactly. This is just, again, like us talking about online, like it might not affect the sales too much. It definitely does put it in the cultural zeitgeist that this is really fucking expensive. And it might have sold out now, but like the sales like going later is probably going to be horribly affected, honestly. So you're telling me the marketing of the Switch 2 just rage bait. Now I know why you said it. Funny that you said it funny. That shit's hilarious. It's actually hilarious. Yeah, it's funny, honestly. I highly doubt this would be any use to developers. Nintendo has a developer portal which provides documentation, tools, and a forum. This welcome to for use. Oh, perfect. Grammar mistake, gamers. We got it. Where's grammar mistake? Grammar mistake is up here. Oh, hang on. Nostalgic comment and people online. People online. Is this coping? I'm seriously asking, not trying to be rude, but wouldn't it have been smooth sailing to try and get all your recently acquired player base to the new system? Especially after what happened to them several times in the past. Crushing people's expectations in a bad way is not very smart in this situation. Maybe something lesser known that needs extra traction, but this doesn't make sense. I, for one, was thinking about getting a Switch 2, but not now, but eventually. But honestly, all this unnecessary anti-consumer practices and drama is driving me away. The new cartridge is only having two very dispar sizes? I don't know what it means by that. The price of the games being raised about 150% of what they were less than 5 years ago with no explanation. Old Switch games without price increase without DLC. Disparaging, maybe. The whole direct drama that Doe hinted for more content and there was none. Oh, that Doug. Doe? Is that Doug? Oh my god, Doug. That Doe Bowser? Is that a fat joke? Oh my god. The people who got the pre-orders are the few people who are certain they can get a Switch 2, and the number of those people are just going to decrease. Yeah, exactly. It's like the sales might be high now, but what's going to happen later down the line, you know? That's what it means. Like think about Mario Kart, chat. Think about Mario Kart Deluxe. Those sales just kept going and going and going and going. Is the same thing going to happen for the Switch 2? Same with the Switch 1. It was like, it just kept going and going and going and going. Is the same thing going to happen for the Switch 2? Like, it's going now, but like, it might like come to a crashing stop, you know? You know, I'm not voting you. I think it's disingenuous to claim that Walker is doing any advertising with only the examples you're referencing, the very same loud minority you claim to not be affected by the broader consumer base. As any channel website discussing is also discussing the general narrative that Nintendo's been more greedy about game prices, port upgrades, online requirements, digital only, bad features, and console price. Yeah, exactly. This is one of many. Does that make sense? Mr. Riolu profile picture? God damn, I like him. It's either contributing to an overwhelming sense of disappointment and dissatisfaction surrounding this Nintendo Switch 2 as part of the overall marketing failure, or it's failed to have any notable impact. I completely failed to see how rage-bait marketing has helped, specifically in this instance, to any degree. Brilliant. Is it people online? I think for me, people online is like if someone randomly just mentions, like if someone in this context mentions people online, about the discourse, that doesn't count as the people online. Like if someone said, I kept seeing loads of people saying the Switch is gonna fail, but that's like a people online, because that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. If the subject of the subject of the people online is relevant to this instance, it doesn't count as the people online. So people are mentioning like other stuff related to this, that doesn't count. That's like just people talking about online stuff, you know? It's different. Default Dan. Have we got default Dan, chat? Have we got default Dan? We do have default Dan. Damn, it's really far away though, isn't it? Damn, I don't think we're getting bingo today. These comments are too good. Oh, hang on, creator replied. Hang on. I think we had that, chat. Golden Arrow replied. Hang on. I think we had that. Oh, I was pinned comment agrees with it. Creator replied. Yes. Okay, gamers, we're in. Now we see the checkmark commenter. Funny, someone said a hot take. Oh man, I don't know if we're winning today. Chat. This is rough, man. God damn, but anyway, let's continue. It's a hard board, yeah, it's a hard board. We need to win. It's what makes it satisfying, you know. If we lose today, it makes it more exciting for the next comment section, you know. There's no such thing as bad publicity has been doing. Yeah, hang on. Smog Homura, anime profile picture, be damned. Is a second row possible? Oh, actually, I think we could get a people online and someone saying, damn, I miss it when Nintendo didn't... Reggie, gamers, if someone mentioned Reggie, that counts as 100% nostalgia. If someone goes, Reggie would never do 100%. It's possible. This board is possible, chat. We can win this. Don't give up. A blackout happened in Iberia? Really? Shit, man. Stay safe, brother. At least you get to watch me, okay? Brilliant. Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity as debunked years ago. On top of that, your main argument seems to be because it costs money is now something that consumers pay attention to, which is completely demolished by the fact that Wii Sports was free, but incredibly popular and well-liked. I don't think Nintendo needed more bad publicity given almost everything about the Switch 2 was poorly received by the general public. Now, how does Golden Owl respond? The Switch was absolutely not poorly received by the general public. It was poorly received by gamers. The console is currently on track to be the biggest console launch of recent years. Wii Sports also differs because it's an actual game, something that people could play and like. Walkato isn't a game, so it's worthless. It's completely useless for the value creation, even if it was a free product. Putting a price tag has called attention to it. It would trigger a reaction, and the reaction is substantially more value than simply being ignored. Again, it's one of those things where, like, are you technically right? But I just don't think it matters. Like, it's a drop in the ocean. Like, do you know what I mean? And besides, like, this is, like, I think you're being very, like, reductive with this statement, right? Again, the Switch 2 is sold out now, but what's going to happen when the second batch comes out? Like, this guy's thinking, do you know what this is, right? It's like if a film on opening weekend made, like, 30 million, right? You're like, oh, yeah, you made 30 million on your opening weekend on a film that had like a $20 million budget? Shit, we made our money back immediately, right? But the next weekend you went down to like 2. You're like, fuck, that's one hell of a drop off. And then a weekend after that, it was like 500K. You're like, man, do you know what I mean? Like, was it nice that you made your money back? Sure, but like, it didn't really help, did it? But let's say like opening weekend, 20 million, good. Oh, next weekend, 10 million. And then after that, 8 million. And then we kept going like a nice couple of million each time. You're like, yeah. Then it's like, Yeah. So like, I just don't think. Again, I just think you're being like a. Well, actually, bit of a nerd moment, definitely. Putting his business degree to good use, or business class, should I say? Is it business 101? I guess it's a matter of perspective, because I rarely see a console announcement with this much lukewarm or negative reception. On this day itself, like half a YouTuber creating videos on how expensive and underwhelming it was. Sure, the offline silent mass might have a different opinion. The biggest console launch in recent years, how do you measure that? And what other console came out in recent years? Are you talking about the PS5, on the spam, or the spam of handheld computer knockoffs? Feels like it's unfair to compare this since the market is very niche. That's actually true. Like, when people say the biggest console launch in recent years, like, what are we comparing it to? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's actually a very like misleading metric to use. You know what I mean? I kind of get that. Like, I actually think that's cool, kind of cool. Putting a price tag has called attention to it. Triggered a reaction. He's copied his comment. I never said anything call attention to it. I'm saying the old model of publicity at all costs doesn't work anymore like it used to. It's an outdated idea. Having negative publicity isn't always better than having no publicity, especially not when you're already winning. Exactly. People crave Nintendo lose. People have been drooling over the Switch 2 leaks for weeks now. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot for absolutely no reason? Just so people are aware that you have a mediocre tech demo? I think the Goodwill these days has done a lot more value than... I think the Goodwill these days has a lot more value than attention. Yes, 100%. Honestly. Nintendo has used to be great at generating goodwill with the consumers because they always stuck to their traditional practice instead of microtransactions and the like that Sony and Microsoft are frontrunners in. So I feel like including this tech demo for free with every Switch would have generated a lot more goodwill instead of hamstring it with bad publicity. Do you know what we need? We need like another tile, a CL Kennedy. We need like Creator gets owned. Creator gets like dunked by a comment. Oh, fucking Lord, man. Reggie mentioned where? Hang on. Hang on. Remember, this has to be nostalgic scribbly. Hang on. The fact that Reggie featured me several times and Nintendo convinced him to bundle Wii Sports, they went as far as to creating other mini-games of a smaller scope to convince him to give up on his idea, and still refused to bundle the Wii Sports in Japan. It should be clear on what's happening. They hate it when they feel like they're giving something out for no counterpart. It gives the impression they're cheap with their products. A terrible company mentality stemming from an artisan mindset rather than a commercial. Like, they mentioned Reggie Fils-Aimé, but they weren't particularly nostalgic about it. They just mentioned it as like a historical callback, you know? I don't think I count this as nostalgia. I don't think that counts. Not nostalgic, it's just historical reference. That's not nostalgic to me. Oh, the music's fake. Oh, we're all out of music? Let's change up the tune, shall we? Let me! Oh my god, Suman the I spent this whole time watching this fucking video. Unreal. Another reply, hang on. Yeah, I think we lost this game. I don't think it's happening. Look, all these comments are fucking brutal and they're good. Like, it's in like, they're clearly framed. Like, look at these comments were like, look at this guy. He like owned like a nice concise paragraph, a nice lovely, bruv, everyone's like fucking, do you know what I mean? There's no one even being shitty to this guy, they're just owning him. I'm just like, bruv, they're in the comment section locked in. Good lord. Anyway, hang on. They're cooking him like are we having owl for dinner? Good lord, man. Hang on, what's next? Rage bait to sell DragX Drive? Artificial rage bait is just tank goodwill when people are aware of it, especially if the product trying to sell looks subpar from trailers alone. There's a few times where psychotic people with a large following decide to launch a moral crusade on a good video game, and that's IMO, the only time a rage helps generate good sales and pushes this game from possibly niche into a success, failure to a huge... Yes, exactly. It's literally what I said. If, like, when the rage bait happens and the smoke clears, are you left with something good? Again, I think Fortnite was kind of a victim of this a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. I remember there was a phase where people were calling Fortnite so cringe. Minecraft good, Fortnite bad. Minecraft good, Fortnite bad. But the reason why Fortnite superseded that and didn't like fall off is because behind all that like fucking, smoke, Fortnite's actually a really fucking solid video game. And literally, as far as I'm concerned, anyone who hates Fortnite is just unk. 100%. Like, Fortnite is the, like, perfect, like, unk detector. If someone said they hate Fortnite, therefore, they're old. Because while Fortnite isn't my favorite battle royale, it's a fantastic video game. Like, there's just no denying that. So when someone says it's shit, it's like, you're just unk. Just say you didn't like it. For me, again, I prefer Apex Legends. Compared to, like, when it comes to my choice of battle royale, I prefer Apex Legends because I prefer that style of shooter. But Fortnite's fantastic, all right? It's a wonderful battle royale. So it's the same with that. Like, Fortnite succeeded because, like, it keeps that thing going, you know what I mean? It kept the momentum going, man. That's mainly because the game's got good game vibes coming from the trailers and previews, and the context of the rage is tied to some asinine aspects of the game that the core audience the game. Hang on, but that's yeah, exactly. Like if people are raging over something that's actually good, then yeah, it doesn't work. The irrational rage boosts awareness from the game to normal people, get sucked into the spats of going. Yeah, exactly. This is literally exactly what I'm saying. When you clear the smoke behind Fortnite, it's actually a fucking good video game. When you clear the smoke behind Welcome Tour, it's nothing. You know what I mean? If rage bait involves people defending blatantly anti-consumer tactics, meh-looking games, the rage doesn't help at all. It just muddies the ownership between the publisher and the general consumer who's aware of the situation. If the rage is unintentional and coming from your core audience, but you can listen and bring change, I argue it's not only that you not only save sales, but you may even gain sales you turn around really well. Just look at the first Sonic movie's initial reveal to now. Fucking brilliant. Another wonderful example. Again, the Sonic movie was perfect. You know what I mean? Sonic movie was a wonderful example to use. We have another bingo board spot titled Musty Alt account. Oh, yeah. Like, my take, but in a comment form. Literally, yeah, we need like something like that. Musty's Alt. We need like another... It's okay, if you're thinking of other spots, Musty Alt is another good one. Because this is literally my take, but written in a anime profile picture, meringue rogue, you know, sort of picture. This is literally my take. When the smoke clears, do you have a good game? Welcome Tour is not a good game. To which Golden Owl replies, you've proven the case. It's a case where psychotic people are launching a crusade against a good product. Welcome Tour? The thing that you just called it. Sorry, chat, don't mind me. I'm just... Dude, where's the good game? Where? Remember, Nintendo isn't caring about selling Volume 2. They care about selling the Switch 2. Normal people think the Switch 2 is a good product. I don't think they do. Look, bro, if someone commented me, I would just leave. Bro, I would delete my account. So it's not even someone calling me like the N-word. It's literally just me replying. It's like, just say what you want. Sorry. It's just, you can just tell yourself what you want. Then this guy's just tired. He's just tired of seeing his copes. He's just like, oh, default Dan W. Oh, and the ratio, even without my like, the ratio is just like, oh man, that's brutal. Man, when you lose to a comment saying, man, just call it whatever you want, just tell it what you want. That's not, yeah, can we get on the top of fatality? Like, this is like a fatality. There's like, you know, a musty oh, and then there's fatality. This is like this is perfect fatality, brutality, like all of the tallies, bro. This is unreal. This is unreal. I'm being honest. I'm so sorry, God, now. But this is just... That's too much. That's too much, man. I don't think... We're not getting bingo, guys. We're not getting bingo. Then you might be... Oh, man. Is it going to happen again? I think you might be given a bit more credit than they deserve. It seems like the more likely that they made a stupid decision. Lifelong Nintendo fan, by the way. It's very possible they could be. Nintendo's no stranger to making fungal was poor Wii U. Regardless of Nintendo, if they produce the exact result, people are talking about the Switch 2 constantly, pushing the attention to general consumers, and it's going to subsequently lead to impressive pre-orders. Again, you're looking at the pre-orders and you're saying, but look, it was because of Welcome Tour. It was not because of Welcome Tour. I think if we could peer into an alternate universe where Welcome Tour didn't exist, the Switch 2 still sells out. Honestly. So, nostalgia? I'm like... No, it's just a reference to history. It's not Wii U nostalgia, guys. Come on now. Yeah, I don't think we're winning, gamers. I don't think we're winning. I don't think we're winning. Not buying this shit, bro. I guess was the plan. You're overanalyzing oopsie and a 40. We need like, okay, do you know what we need? We need like emoji spam. That should be another one. This is not technically emoji spam, but like I think that could be another one. If someone uses like 4 emojis in a row. Oh, the cope. Oh, hang on. The cope heart. We need another one of that. We need another one of those. Those Wii U marketing? Where, Wii U nostalgia? Where? I'm not seeing any. Nintendo tricked everyone to disliking them? Oh, okay. Well, if it's this one, I'm not counting this one. The reply? Yeah, no such thing as Babble as they agree. I like the Wii U lot. No, again, that's not nostalgia. It's just someone saying they like the Wii U. If they said they missed the Wii U, that's nostalgia. Do you guys even know what nostalgia is? Hey guys, I think the Game Boy Advance SP was a good console. Nostalgia, man. No! Poor Wii U, maybe? I don't know. I'm not counting that. Nah, I'm VAR checking that. You guys are like, you're nostalgia poison. It's literally someone. Were you nostalgia? You guys don't have to play. You guys are. Listen, the whole fun of winning at bingo is like you won. You know what I mean? We've seen a rude comment. We've seen a short comment. We've seen a grammar mistake. We've seen a like. We can tick off all of these. You know what I mean? Like, we can confidently tick off all of these. You know what I mean? That's what we're dealing with this. And I can't, guys, I really want to win now. I really want to win, but I don't think we're winning. I don't think we're winning, chat. I don't know, winning, man. Everyone's too reasonable. We're not getting any rage bait. We're not getting any buzzword berries. At least not from what I see. Maybe the. Oh, hang on. Nintendo just told them congratulations, you're playing yourself. Nice. Just look how many people commented about Welcome Tour. How many of these people are going to buy a Switch 2 and how many people on? How many are actually going to get what? And how many actually have the Welcome Tour as the reason? It's generally free noise and free noise invaluable. Yup. Yup. Bro. Business degree number 101. Jeb Bush told, yeah, exactly. Jeb Bush, huh? My goat. Yeah, not happening, gamers. So that's why some Nintendo games feel almost deliberately broken or lacking obvious features to get people to talk about them. E.g. Mario Kart 10 character select screen having to call. Is that broke? Would you say that's broken? Good lord. Should we have politics? Oh, politics would be a good space. Needless political mention. That should be one. Because, like, obviously, if, like, say you watch a gaming video and the person talks about politics, obviously it makes sense that the comments are bringing up politics, right? But in a video like this that's not about politics, if someone mentions politics, that would definitely count. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh, okay, we've run out of music, gamers. It's not happening. We're all Bravo 6th out gamers. We're all Bravo 6th out. We're all Bravo 6th out, chat. I think we're done. I think we're done here. I think everyone's just cooking him. We'll sort by new real quick and then we'll move on, okay? I'm not counting. If there's anyone new commenters, you guys better be nice, and I'm not counting it as Moresty viewer. I'm not counting it. Maybe we'll get some mean people here. One more Bravo. Quick one. We'll just quickly keep going in. Drop the price. Drop the price mentioned. I think you're right. As a game developer, I'm very interested. Yeah? Are you a game developer, Paul L.M. Virus? I've never heard of you. You are no Miyamoto. You suck at God. That's just mean. That's just mean, honestly. People need to stop calling it a tutorial and use the word extension with tech demo. They aren't the same thing. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, brother. Oh, can we get another one? Which is multiple comments by the same person in a row? We can tell the yell at this point. Yeah, we've lost, guys. We've lost. It's not happening. We've lost. I just want one more. Can we get one more tile, please? Can we get one more tile? Man, I just want one more tile, man. That's not nostalgia. I just want one more. Can we get one more, please? Can we get like a finally that? No, we lost. Okay, we lost. We lost. I'll move on. I'm coping. This is what we got. I think this is the best we got. And that's kind of it, really. Yeah, no, see, I did see your message. See, okay, yeah, the original plan was most of viewers that we've seen these most of viewers before you read. Yeah. I know what the plan is, but obviously, if there's any new ones, they can't. Yeah, these comments are too good. If anything, that's a testament. If anything, the comment section should be proud. Hey, round of applause to this comment section for fucking putting this owl back to pasture, man. Honestly. Either way, my closing thoughts are, from what I've heard, at least from my community, Golden Owl is someone who's made some solid videos in the past, so I'm not going to poo-poo their whole channel personally. What I will say, though, is this was definitely a miss. I think you put far too much stock in the outrage marketing aspect, and the best you can say about this video is that while you're technically right, you are grasping... To say you're grasping at straws would be an insult to straws. And despite your... And I think if you're going to make a video... Now, personally, again, this is my personal advice. I like dry YouTubers. I like when someone just gives me the points, gives me the facts, minimal editing. I'm okay with this sort of thing. I do think, though, that like it took you way too long to get to your point, though. Again, if me, when I'm watching a video on stream, I generally try to be quite respectful and like watch the whole thing, listen to all your points. I don't want to miss anything. But the fact that you had me skipping ahead is an indication that I can handle the chat saying Moresty put Subway servers on. I can ignore that. But when I want to put Subway servers on, I think you have a bit of a problem. This video felt like it could have been like 12 minutes long, 13 minutes long, and you elongated it for some strange reason. I don't think that helped either. I would say listen to your comments and stay in your lane, brother. Stick to talking about Pokemon, little bro. And we'll leave that there.